What's up, everybody? This is episode 72. This is Fitness Realty. I am the broker of the company. My name is TJ McClelland. I have with me Rachel Davies with Northpointe Bank, and I'm so excited to meet you and have you on our show. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm super excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Awesome. Well, first, would you just kind of introduce yourself, give us a little bit of background so that we can connect with you and know a little bit more about you?
Absolutely. So like TJ said, my name is Rachel Davies. I've been in the mortgage industry since 2002. I started off, I worked at a architectural firm doing marketing, and I did a lot of graphic design. They opened up a new business that I was a part of that did bridge loans for manufactured homes. So I started out processing it, and then I moved my way up to becoming a full-time underwriter. And honestly, I just fell in love with the business. No one situation the same. Mortgage products are kind of standard, but everybody's individual situations are the same. So you're always trying to put the puzzle pieces together, see the whole picture, and figure out what is going to be the best product for your client, both in the short term and in the long term. So doing that, I'm a big believer in starting from the ground up and understanding the nuts and bolts of a business. And then and then working your way through that company. So I was a processor. I eventually became an underwriter, decided that I really missed talking to people and I wanted less paperwork, not zero paperwork, but less paperwork. And so
Nice.
I wanted to try to become a loan officer because it was the best of all worlds. I still got to have the opportunity to figure out all the puzzle pieces, figure out what's the best program, but I also got to interact with people on a one-to-one level and get to know their lives, get to know who they are, what works best for them. And ever since I started doing that, and that was probably 2 years from when I started at Land Home Services back in 2002. I left in about 2004, became a loan officer, and I've stayed there ever since. So that's kind of how I got my start in the mortgage industry. Northpointe specific, I've been with Northpointe for about a year. And reason being is, it's almost a year and a half now. Northpointe just offers a huge breadth of products. Most everybody does FHA, VA, conventional, those type of loans. But what I knew was that the market, this free for all that we're having right now with crazy low interest rates, crazy appreciation, wasn't going to last forever. Northpointe Bank, I just love because they have a wide variety of products. We offer seconds. We offer standalone seconds. We do something called an all-in-one loan. We've talked about that a little bit, TJ, which is an awesome product. We do land loans. We do construction loans. We just have we do doctor loans. So it just gave me the opportunity to be able to offer my clients the best product available. And they're also a bank that I can originate myself in all 50 states, which is amazing. Whoa. A lot of people are either moving or they have a referral. Well, it's always kind of scary to give a referral because you don't know what you're going to get. And as a loan officer, I'm sure you can understand as a real estate agent, you work so hard to establish and maintain those relationships that if one person screws it up for you, it doesn't matter if it was your fault, you referred them. And so it's nice for people to be able to hand off their loved ones or friends or confidants or strategic partners in their own business and know that that person will be able to take care of them because they know who I am. So just having that access to a wide variety of products, being able to originate in all 50 states. I've moved a bunch, and so and I work a lot with first responders, vets, that and those tend to be very occupations that people move a lot. And so it just made sense for me to go there, and I've loved it. I found a home I want to stay with forever. They've been a tremendous company, so I'm super lucky and happy to be there. So,
that's so cool. I feel like that is a lot of stuff to unpack. I mean, for people that are not in the industry, and kind of sprinkling all of the education that just kind of came out was, one, you can close in all 50 states, which is kind of crazy. Like, that was huge. So we have a lot of military listeners, and they can be at any different base across the nation, of course, across the globe. I don't know how many listeners we have outside of the U.S., but in the U.S., we have a lot of military members that are scattered across the U.S., so that's really huge. The second piece that I want to kind of like unpack a little bit is that all of the loan products. So
it's huge.
Of course, we just kind of rambled off like conventional FHA, VA. Those are like, everybody does that. USDA.
Everybody and their dog. Yes.
But there's like a pack of different loan vehicles that I'm sure people have never even heard of. One being the all-in-one loan. And so one day, this is kind of a preface for everybody that's listening right now, is that one day Rachel and I are going to go over an all-in-one loan and what everything is kind of baked into that, because it is one of the most powerful loans that I've ever put my hands on and is really impressive. And so it's really like a regular mortgage, a HELOC, and a checking account all had a baby together, and that's kind of this like vehicle. And so, right, it's really interesting. And so I want to make sure everybody knows that one day we're going to have this episode that will kind of give you the ins and outs of what that is. But for people that are kind of just newer into the mortgage industry, or home buyers, home sellers, can you just kind of give us a little synopsis of an all-in-one loan for like a 30-second clip of what that really kind of does for somebody?
An all-in-one loan, and for the listeners, another word that another term, it's the type of loans that they do in Europe and Australia. It's another name for it is called an offset loan. Basically what it is it's exactly what you just said. It's one account where it's a mortgage, a home and equity line of credit, a checking account, and a savings account. And it is powerful when used correctly. For any client that I put into an all-in-one loan, you can pay off your mortgage in half to a third of the time with the same payment and the same cash flow that you have right now. And it all has to do with the power of interest rate and how interest is calculated. And it gets interest working for you instead of you paying a fixed amount of interest every month on your home loan. That is the fastest that I could explain that product, but it works exactly. The other thing I would say is it works exactly. It's got all the advantages of a home equity line of credit. It has auto pay. It has credit card features. It has a checking account. Everything that you're doing now, you can do with the all-in-one loan. It's a new product, so it's very important to me whenever I'm talking to clients about it that they understand how it works. And that's probably something that really sets me apart from other loan officers, is that because I have done this for 20 years and I've seen the best that can happen and I've seen the absolute worst that can happen. It is important for me as a loan officer to understand the whole picture of you as a client and what you're good at and what you're not so good at. Make sure that I'm putting you in the best possible product. And I am not setting you up to fail, because you're going to see me for that month. But if I'm putting you in a product that maybe it's harder to be a little bit more disciplined, like an ARM feature or something like that, you're going to hate me forever. And more than that, like, I don't find that, like, my personal integrity, I want you for a client for life. And so my clients will call me and be like, well, what do I do about this? What do I do about that? Whether it has to do with a loan or not, I will always give you my honest answer. And I really like to take time with my clients to understand the full scope of what their financial goals are, of what their strengths and weaknesses are, and teach them more than anything, teach my clients how to do that themselves. So that empowers them. And it also circles back to another thing you and I have talked about a bunch, TJ, is the concept of fear. Right now, there is a ton of fear in the marketplace. For me personally, I'm absolutely delighted. Not delighted. That's kind of a harsh, not delighted, but there's been some very important market corrections that have needed to happen for a while, and it's happening. It's one of the reasons why I went to Northpointe, because I knew when things changed, and they did, that I would have more products to be able to offer my clients to get through these hard times. And so, just again, putting my clients to the right features. And circling back again to the all-in-one loan, one of the features that I love about the all-in-one loan is you can actually not make a payment for a year. Nice. And that is awesome for people that work on commission. That's awesome for people that make big bonuses at a certain amount of time, or there's a downturn in the industry that's going to go for 6 months, for a year. It gives you flexibility in how you pay your mortgage and you make your payments without being nervous that you're going to lose your house or something like that. There's a lot that goes into it, and it's a whole other discussion, but yeah, it's a really powerful product. So
I love that a lot. I mean, a couple of things that stood out to me was one, you have a very high level of honesty and integrity, and then number two, you said teach your clients several times, and so I really love that aspect because I find that we in the industry get our day-to-day operations, we just kind of glaze over everything, but these are some of the biggest, most scary financial issues and purchasing for our clients. And so I love that you take the time to teach, understand them, learn which products are going to work best for them. And then your integrity keeps you putting them into something that is going to be worthwhile, rather than just like, oh, this is just a payday, whatever, and freight training them.
And I'm not
I really love that about what you're up to.
Well, and the other thing that I want to kind of dovetail on what you just said, as far as this is a huge financial investment for the clients. Not only is it a huge financial investment, it is the biggest investment that most people will ever make in their lives. And it is an incredible tool to create wealth if used properly. So that's why I'm all about teaching, like people getting an investment or buying real estate. Is real estate an incredible investment tool? Absolutely. Are we going to see the housing crash like we did in 2008? Nope. Lived through that, worked through that. That's some of my awful stories that I have. Later. Nice. I've been through the housing crash. I have been through COVID. I have been through now this skyrocketing inflation. Real estate, people are always going to need somewhere to live. And it is one of the safest investment, one done properly, that you can ever do. And it's an incredible wealth maker. And it all has to do with understanding what you're doing, understanding the pros and cons, and deciding what's best for you. And so that's what my job is 100% as a loan officer, is to try to understand you, your needs, your spending habits, how you want to grow your own personal wealth, and then letting you decide what's going to be best for you. Now, I do set up guardrails or certain things that I'll be like, that is not a good idea.
Right.
But to break it down for people so they can understand how it applies to their specific situation. Mortgages and buying a home is not hard to understand. It's just a lot to understand for people that don't do it all the time. It's like walking into Costco and having a million products and being like overwhelmed because there's just so much there. Right. And so that's, again, circling back, that is what my job is as a loan officer, to to help you digest that information and give you options, and just make it, and give you places that you can look so you can research information and find out things for yourself. If I've done that, I've been a successful loan officer.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I like that you teach and educate. That's so cool. One thing that I want to make sure that we transition to is that the crazy stories, maybe one crazy story from the 08-09 crash.
Oh gosh, that was a crazy time. So at the time, I brokered most of my loans, which just means that you can send your loans to completely unaffiliated lenders. And I still can do that, but I was doing that a ton back then. But literally, I was having clients that I got my clear to close, and then the bank had gone out of business. So when we all woke up in the morning thinking that we were going to get that we were going to go sign docs, the bank completely went out of business. I had that with 2 of my clients. Most everybody else had been in the process. But I had 2 that literally, we woke up in the morning and that bank had gone out of business. Wow. So right now, and it was funny because we were doing this big training, thing for Northpointe Bank, and they were kind of telling us what the bank was doing to offset risk and keep their balance sheet safe, and they were having to pull back on certain products or make pricing not as favorable on other products. And I've been really upset about it. But having lived through it 08, I'm like, be smart about your practices, because banks can overextend, and if they are not on sound foundation in the morning, they're gone. I mean, I originated loans like that. That was 08. This is nothing like 08. 100%. Definitely difficult. I don't want to take away from the uncertainty of this market. However, we are in such better footing than we were back then that it makes it apples and oranges. So that's one of my craziest stories. My other crazy stories is just in general. People, let me give you some advice as a loan officer. You want to treat your loan officer like your confessor. You want to tell them everything. If you think you can hide something from them, you cannot. Spoiler alert, you cannot. I'm not the person you want to hide things from. I'm the person you want to tell, so I can tell you how to navigate it. I can't tell you how to tell my clients. So, funny story, last year I had 2 clients. It was right before Christmas that they're like, hey, I want to close on these purchases on my property. And I was like, hey, I've got 2 weeks. At the end of the year, I don't know that I can do it. I can see how it's a tax benefit to you. I will give you everything that I've got to make that happen for you. I busted my butt, and we were getting ready to close. Well, guess what? We do a final credit pull right before close. Every time, people, all lenders do it. Borrower number 1 had bought a Porsche.
Oh, no.
Borrower number 2, same situation. They wanted to close it before the end of the year. Bought a Tesla.
Classic.
Why? And the funny thing is, and for your borrower, for those listeners, you guys, you want to buy a car? Super. Tell me you want to buy a car and how much it is, because I'm going to tell you, okay, you can spend this much and it's not going to ruin your purchase. This is the paperwork I need when you go to the auto dealership. If you don't do this, it's going to delay it. Now, luckily, it didn't kill the deal, because I got it done. I had it done faster than expected anyway, but it took a whole lot more time. And had they just told me, then I would have been like, ooh, hey, wait 1 week to do that.
Right. 100%. Wait a week.
Wait a week, wait 2 weeks, wait till closing, go buy it. Or you did that, okay, then I got to pull in this other income. So it offsets, and we're able to get it done. But it was just one of those. That's probably the weirdest, where I had 2 borrowers that were begged me to get it done in 2 weeks from start to finish. And I was like, okay, I'll get that done. I'll do my best. I'll try, but I can't promise. Got it done, and they had both bought a car, and not a little car, like a brand new $200,000 Porsche. I kid you not. And I was just thinking,
you're like, what is the matter with you?
you're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. Please tell me you know that reference, TJ. You're killing me.
I know that reference. Yeah, straight out of the Sandlot.
That's the one. Okay.
Yes.
Now, so those are probably my funny stories about usually it's when something goes sideways, it's because people think they can hide things. Let me tell you, the information out there is a lot, and it should be. If you were lending $400,000 or $300,000 or $700,000 of your own money to someone, you'd want to make sure that they could pay it back and that they were worthy, that they would be willing.
We learned some lessons straight out of _08 from that.
Precisely.
Yes. Well, this has been so much fun just hanging out and chit chatting with you. I mean, I love the tenacity that you bring to mortgages and learning about it and just sharing that with us. I am excited for when or when people listen to this episode and hear about an all-in-one to kind of reach out to you and get their feelers out there. And then for everybody else, just watch for that episode to come up when we do a deep dive into the all-in-one. But Rachel, I wanted to really just say thank you for being here with me, and thank you for just your generosity and how personable you are on our channel, and just in life. So I really wanted to say thank you.
Thank you so much, TJ. This has been a lot of fun. I love talking mortgages, and I love coming on your show. And thank you for knowing that Sandlot reference, because I have 4 kids, 3 teenagers, and they all don't understand any of it. So,
such a good movie, though. Yes.
If you haven't seen it, watch it.
Yes, I totally agree. Well, this has been episode 72. This is TJ McClelland. I am the broker of Fitness Realty. We've got Rachel Davies from Northpointe Bank. We'll see you guys next time.